All right, let's get right into it. I got my man Sheen in the building today. What's going on, brother?
Yo, what up, man? How's everything, BMT?
Everything is excellent, man. Now, last time we saw you,
Right.
you was in the studio. And we talked about bodybuilding and everything like that. But now, currently, and I want to congratulate you, man, you are at your own bar in Pattaya, man.
Yes.
How does that feel to have, have ownership out here?
It feels good. I want to say this is probably like my fourth business out here in Thailand, so I'm accustomed to it. But this particular business is a whole lot different from real estate, the food truck and everything like this, whatever. This one right here is it's definitely the most profitable. I'll tell you that right now, just starting this thing off.
Okay. And I want to ask you about that because you own a few other businesses.
Yep.
You're saying that the bar is probably the most profitable out of all the ones you started because you had a food truck and then you had, what else you had?
The real estate company.
Okay,
the crocodile farm.
Okay.
Yeah.
The crocodile farm.
Yeah.
Oh man, I love crocodile meat. Yeah, okay. So you say that pretty much the bar is the most.
Yes.
Okay.
So you're looking at the profit margins on a daily consecutive time frame. You see what I'm saying? So you're looking at 30 days, 31 days, depending on the month. And right now we're averaging, I don't want to throw the numbers out there, whatever, but we're doing over 700 a day.
Okay.
So we weren't doing that in the real estate. You see what I'm saying? So at the most, we were probably selling a property once every 2-3 months. You see what I'm saying? But our main target was, hey, let's go ahead and get these tenants in these condos. Let's get these tenants in these houses. But now the whole dynamic shifted once I got into this particular style of business. The bar game.
And just in general, is it hard like starting a business here in Thailand?
If you know the right people, if you know the right people, and you do things the right way and get the lawyers involved. That's the number one thing I tell people. Hey, get the lawyers involved. That's going to protect you.
Okay. And as far as like ownership, do you have to have like a special type of visa? Is it the visa first or the ownership first? How's that work?
So it depends on how you're positioned currently at the moment when you're actually looking at ownership or whatever, right? So you could be a partner, silent partner. Hey, you just invest your money, your name's not gonna be in the paperwork. That's when you have to do business with the right people, right? But if you wanna actually start the business yourself, you still have that problem, or not the problem, but you still have that dilemma of 4951. And that's where a lot of people is like, yo, hey, as a foreigner, I only have 49%, and the Thai has a 51%, and they think that they're automatically at a disadvantage. No, that's where you get the lawyers involved. Make sure that the paperwork is drafted and generated the right way.
Okay.
So where it protects you.
Okay, so you're saying you just got to have your lawyer situation straight before you even generally get into business out here.
Yeah.
Okay.
But then again, there's some people that come out here and they're like, hey, I want to open up a business to where I don't want locals inside the business. I haven't seen that before. You see what I'm saying? I've heard about people saying that, hey, I know so-and-so that did it, but I haven't actually met a business owner that said, hey, I own my company 100% outright. There's no ties and none of the paperwork. I haven't seen that.
Okay. I've heard that, but you say you haven't seen it personally.
Right.
Okay. And, on YouTube, you hear like a lot of horror stories about, guys or foreigners pretty much opening up bars and they're not successful, the money not what it is. What do you think those guys did wrong per se?
I don't know because I wasn't in contact with them, so I don't know exactly what their shortfalls were or their shortcomings, right? But I will tell you this, in order to have a successful bar, you need women, you need a pool table, and you need cold drinks. That is the appetite for success right there. Those three things. That's what you need. Now, I'm not saying that, hey, if you don't have those aspects, you're not going to have a profitable business. No, what I'm saying is, if you want an extremely good, lucrative business, you need a combination of all three of those.
Okay. And usually, in my opinion, I mean, I've never owned a bar, but, I used to promote bars and stuff back in the day, even sometimes in Medellin. I promote different bars and everything. Usually from what I've seen, and this is pretty much worldwide, it's like the mismanagement of money sometimes.
Okay.
Because everywhere has like a low season.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And you got to prepare for the low season basically because, Pattaya is seasonal.
Right.
For the most part.
Right.
I think guys like see the money they're like, oh man, this is gonna always be like this. And then, you know, after Chinese New Year, it's like dead. You got Songkran, and after Songkran, it's dead. But when it's good, it's good. You know, I think if you can weather through those times, I think you'll be all right.
Right. So, like you said, everything happens in seasons out here, right? You have high season, you have low season, right? So what I noticed when you're looking at doing business, and I'm gonna give you a gem right now. So when you look at businesses, a lot of businesses are created. Talking about new businesses, a lot of new businesses are created during the low season. That's when they do the renovations. They go ahead, get everything established during the low season. So as soon as you hit high season and you roll over that, the tourist starts coming in. Now they sell the business at a profit. So it might have took you like 10,000 USD to actually get this thing up and running. You go ahead, get your staff in there, they're operating. Now you have a proof of concept. Now you turn around, you sell it for 15, 20,000 USD because high season comes and now everybody's coming back into Thailand with money in the bank and they're like, yo, hey, I want to invest. So some people get burned off investments. Some people, hey, they have successful businesses or successful business transactions.
Okay. And also, man, like what's like I don't know if you own a bar or club in the States, but
No.
like I would say like what's the big difference in, you know, maybe the clientele in, you know, New York versus all the way out here in Pattaya? Like far as the music, do you have to cater to different ethnic groups? You know, like what if you get a busload of Indians and then the next day you get a busload of people from the UK? Like how does that work?
So let's go back to your previous question because I didn't finish it. I know it's kind of long-winded, but I didn't finish it, right? It's how do you prepare for those droughts or the low season, right? So with us, we're a crypto bar, right? So we accept crypto.
Oh, nice.
So what we do is we go ahead, we invest 5% of our monthly gross into crypto. So now we already did the projections. Only thing we need to do is to generate a total of 12,000 before we hit low season. And now that 12,000 is going to offset, is going to cover our rent for 8 months. So that's our strategy, and I'll share that with you guys. That's where you prepare and you make sure that you have no problems, no issues once you roll into the low season to where the tourists aren't coming in as if it was back in high season.
Okay. And like as far as like catering to different groups, you like is it more like a hip hop crowd or do you have to kind of switch it up sometimes?
So it's my clientele it's real different, right? So when you look at the majority of the people that's coming through the bar, spending money, enjoying themselves, talking to the ladies and stuff, we're looking at white males, pretty much from Europe, 50 years old and older. Now, mind you, I have young chicks too. You see what I'm saying? But that is the majority of my clients that are coming in and, you know, customers spending money. Now, yesterday, and it's funny, so we was kind of like up and down yesterday. And like around like 2:15, I was talking to my cashier and I was like, yo, hey, at 2:30, we're gonna shut it down. So she's like, all right, cool. So we're actually starting to shut down. Next, you know, six Indian guys walked in. Hey, we stayed open till 4:30. You see what I'm saying? Because they were spending money. You know what I mean? So our demographic goes, we'll say white European males. And then underneath that, we'll probably say brothers, you know, whether they're from England, America, France. And yeah, that's pretty much like my main clientele that comes in on a consecutive basis.
All right, so speaking on the bros,
Right.
like there's this, I don't know if you want to call it a myth or a thought process. I don't know what it is, but it comes from basically black men, other black men, that the more black men, you know, popularize a certain place or city or area is going to be ruined. Like, what do you think about that?
Okay, so, and shout out to Richie Mack, right? This is the first time I've actually heard that term of, blowing up a spot, right? And I think that's what you're talking about, like blowing up a spot,
right.
So that's what I call it, right? Or that's the words that other people refer to that particular situation. So me personally, I look at it like this: if you took it upon yourself to go ahead, travel, experience something, and you want to go back and share it, by all means, I'm gonna support that 100%. Whether it's the people that are coming with good intentions, people that's coming with bad intentions, the people that's come with the bad intentions are gonna be the minority based off the people that's coming with the good intentions and the positivity, right? So, hey, if some people say, hey, blowing up the spot, hey, put that out there because, hey, what they say, the best information is in a book, and a lot of people don't read. So, hey, put it out there on YouTube, social media, so that we can see, we can experience it, and hey, let us enjoy that. You see what I'm saying? So, I don't see a problem with that. You know what I mean? And I know there's a lot of people that's like, oh, I'm all about gatekeeping and I'm all about, not blowing up the spot and stuff like this, whatever. What are you afraid of? That's my main question. What are you afraid of? Are you afraid of competition? Because 9 times out of 10, when they talk about the whole demographic of blowing a spot up, it's not white people saying that. It's brothers. It's people that look like me and you. That's saying, yo, hey, I went over here. I went to this place. I'm not going to tell you, but yo, here's the pictures. And now you're looking at the women, or you're looking at the geographical locations, like the landmarks and stuff. You're like, yo, where's this at? Like, I want to go there. Based on what you want to travel for, different reasons people travel, And now you're like, oh, that person's like, yeah. I'm not telling you. I'm like, why not? Because I don't want people to start.
You don't want other black guys to so-called ruin it.
Right, pretty much. You see what I'm saying? So I just look at them as like, yo, hey, what are you afraid of?
Right. I don't know why some of us have that mindset.
Right.
Like I don't, and I know I get what they're trying to. I understand where they're coming from, right? Like in our community, we know we got a lot of dysfunction in our community, like a lot of other communities, but we think that if a bunch of us go somewhere, it's a certain type of us that's going to come and it's going to, all chaos breaks loose.
Right.
When the reality is, there's not even a lot of us traveling in the first place.
There it is. We're the minority. When you look at, especially like here in Thailand, right, is because, so there's 2 places I can really talk about intelligently. Thailand and Japan. You see what I'm saying? But when you look at Thailand and in general, we're looking at Black American males. We're the minority of the minority of the Americans. So we're the sub-minority of being Black Americans. You see what I'm saying? So now it takes a lot to get on the plane to travel this far to be on some bullshit 24/7. So that's my gripe when people like, oh, I want to gatekeep. What are you gatekeeping for? But yeah, that's my take on that, man.
That's facts, man. Now I want to get into this real quick. Now, we see a ton of videos about guys dating these bar girls, getting a relationship with these bar girls. Some say, hey, it's possible you can do it. Some say, leave the bar girls alone. I mean, I've seen a ton of content. I mean, they got whole YouTube channels dedicated to story times of their experiences with bar girls. In a lot of cases, I ain't gonna say the girls necessarily deceive, but it's like, the girls might leave them when they run out of money or whatnot. Like, what's your thoughts on that? Do you think guys should, take a bar girl serious, I'm
glad you said that. Well, I'm glad you asked that question. And, but this particular piece, like, I want you to ask those challenging questions. I challenge you to ask those questions. You see what I'm saying? Because it's all about educating and letting people know that, hey, this is what's going on. You know what I mean? So it's a different perspective of coming in a bar, being a customer, versus being behind the bar counter, and now I get to see exactly what's happening inside the establishment. So, me personally, when you look at it, these girls' number one job is to do their job. To make you feel like a king, to make you feel like, damn, I really feel special, to make you want to dig in your pocket and pull every penny out and say, hey, here you go. Whether you give it to her directly or you give it to her indirectly by buying her drinks. I would say, make sure you know exactly what you're getting into, because there's a lot that happens inside these bars, and these girls know if you're green or not, because they're going to ask certain questions, and based off your reactions or based off your responses, they're going to say, nah, he's green, and then they're going to latch onto you like a leech, and then it's like, yo, hey, it's too late. You see what I'm saying? So I've heard a lot of stories about guys getting involved with bar girls. I would say they all have different walks of life. They all come from different places, different regions of Thailand. But primarily, a lot of them come from Isan area. But you also get the ones that come from Phuket. So it's just, hey, you just got to vet them out. But me personally, will I get involved with a bar girl? On a serious relationship, no, because at the end of the day, she has a job to do. There's a lot of girls that work in my bar. They have boyfriends, sponsors, lesbian girlfriends, Thai boyfriends. I'm like, yo, it's one thing when you hear about it, but when you see it with your own two eyes, it's like, whoa, this is different. I wasn't expecting that. You see what I'm saying? So going back to it, I wouldn't. Like, and then you have some other guys, right? Nothing against them. They're like, hey, I don't date bar girls. I only date the mama sons and the cashiers. They got a job to do also. So you got to be careful with that. You know what I mean? So it's like, yo, hey, I would ask those challenging questions. Have you ever been a bar girl before you was a cashier? Were you actually on the floor working, getting drinks and stuff like this, whatever, from customers, getting short time and stuff like that? 9 out of 10, they're going to say, yeah, but that's not all of them. There's a lot that, hey, they only did cashier or managerial positions, but it's one of those things to where it's like, you don't know what you don't know. Another thing too is a lot of these girls have sponsors. You know what I mean? So you might be able, you might say, hey, listen, hey, I don't want you working in a bar. I'm attracted to your whole entire aura, your demeanor, your personality. I love it, your beauty. Hey, I want you to leave the bar. I want you to go back home. And now she goes back home. You go back to wherever you came from. And now you're sending her money, being her sponsor and stuff like this, whatever. But guess what? She has multiple sponsors sending her money. So what you did was you just added to the collection. So now she's like, yo, hey, my job is complete because what I was trying to do was get one more sponsor in the meantime. You see what I'm saying? And it goes into another aspect of a lot of girls that work in these bars. They do not like being on camera. They do not like being posted on social media. You see what I'm saying? So that's why when you see a lot of guys walking in bar complexes or walking down Soy 6, the girls, they start hiding their faces and stuff like this, whatever. It's like, yo, hey, you're invading their privacy, but also her boyfriend might see this video and stuff like this, whatever, and now it's like, yo, hey, you just fucked up her bag. Now she got to go ahead and say, yo, hey, now I need to go ahead and find 2 more sponsors because I just lost 1.
Now, what are like the different types? Because there are different types of bars here. Like, what are the different types? I know we kind of made a blanket statement here, but there are some like bars / restaurants that you might can get away with it.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'll say the easiest way to identify that, right? We're talking about, and I think you're talking about what setting or what establishment would you take a female serious?
Right.
If she or anybody in that bar or anybody in that establishment can be bar fine, that's what I'm talking about right there. That's a disclaimer. I would proceed with caution. If anybody could be bar fined at that establishment, I would proceed with caution.
Okay. And have you heard any like crazy, stories? You don't gotta say no names or anything about guys and bar girl relationships. Like I've heard, they take the whole house and I've heard all types of stuff. Like, have you heard any type of crazy stories?
I've heard a lot. You see what I'm saying? But I really don't like to feed into that, just for the simple fact of I never heard both sides of the story. 9 out of 10 is one-sided. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, oh, I just take that in. It's like, all right, whatever, cool. You know what I mean? But there's a lot, and I'm pretty sure, I'm pretty sure we've probably heard some of the same stories. You know what I mean? But I'll tell you this on a positive, because I don't want to focus on the negative, right? On a positive, I had one girl. So all my girls, they do 10-day contracts. Right? So we had one girl, she came in first day. She's like, oh, all right, cool, whatever. Hey, she's getting accustomed to working in the bar, working with the rest of the girls. So that's day 1. Day 2 comes in. Now she's like, oh, I'm a vet. I got this. I'm talking about she did probably at least like 20, 30 drinks in that one day alone. The dude that her on this night came back to the bar and was like, hey, listen, I'm going to China, and he's a brother. And I'm like, so you plan on taking her with you to China? He was like, yeah. He's like, yo, hey, he has his business in China. He has his business in Dubai. So like, whatever. I'm like, all right, babe, bet, do your thing. So I asked her, I said, hey, do you feel comfortable? Do you feel safe being with this guy for 6 days? She was like, yeah. All right, cool. So they're talking. And then on top of that, before they leave, he buys her 20 drinks. So I'm talking, he's cashing out, right? So I'm behind the register and I'm looking at my phone and I'm like, can a Thai citizen go to China visa free? Because they're saying that, hey, they're going the next day. And it said, yeah, lo and behold, hey, a Thai citizen can go to China without a visa. I did not know that. So I had to educate myself, and I learned something new in the meantime. So he went ahead, took her to China. It was a business trip. 6 days, came back. She said, yo, hey, he don't want me to work no more. I said, okay. So I lost her. I lost her. And it's one of those things to where like I felt bad because I'm like, damn, like she would have been phenomenal for the bar, a good moneymaker, a good cash cow. But then I thought about her and her life and whatever she has going on back home. And it's like, I'm pretty sure they had that conversation during that period of time that they were spending together for him to understand like, hey, I'm willing to save you, or I'm willing to invest in your future so that we can be together. So that, you know, the whole trade-off. But yeah, so like I said, I like to focus on the positive, not the negative.
Okay.
Because there's a million stories of, you know, bar girls doing dudes dirty and stuff like this, whatever. But hey, where's the positive ones at? So hey, this is early. You see what I'm saying? So hey, we don't know exactly where they are now. But hey, I hope they're in a good space. But hey, yeah, that's how it started.
Okay. So let me ask you this, man. You've been in Asia for how long? Like just Asia?
Almost 10 years.
Okay.
Almost 10 years.
Just give me some information on relationships in general in Asia. Like, are they more traditional, or is it becoming more westernized? Like in 2026, you know, what's the information on relationships in Asia?
You mentioned Asia.
Right.
Each Asian country is a little bit different.
Okay.
So, like I said, my two parallels is Japan, Thailand. You know what I mean? So, I look at it like this. In Japan, the women are traditional. They're traditional. We're not talking about the ones with the braids, the gold grills, crazy wild tattoos and stuff like that.
They got gold grills out there in Japan?
Oh yeah, yeah. We're not talking about those, right?
Like the hip hop.
Right. We're not talking about those, which is that's a small population,
right.
But it's something about brothers that look like us that go there and they seek those girls. You know what I mean? It's something about that. But anyway, so if you're not saying that those girls aren't traditional or don't have traditional values, it's one of those things that they're westernized. And they're gonna be like, yo, what up, my nigga? Like, oh, like it's crazy. Yeah.
Oh, they say the N-word out there?
Yes.
How does that make you feel?
I don't like it.
It's strange because they
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, you have Thai chicks say, I'm pretty sure you heard it or you've seen it yourself.
I haven't heard Thai chicks say the N-word before. No.
Yes.
I know they say it because I you know, my girl play video games sometimes.
Right.
And I hear them saying the N-word just, and I'm like, why y'all saying it? You know,
Right.
she won't say it, but.
Right.
Okay.
Right. So I would say, when you look at it, Japan they have a lot of traditional women, you know what I mean? But then here, it's when you look at the economy, there's no government assistance. So nobody's coming to save you, except a foreigner with deep pockets. But then again, you have some foreigners that do come out here and they go broke. And then they got to go back to the States and they got to reset, which is no problem. You see what I'm saying? But don't let the reason be because of a failed relationship. Hands down. So I would say here's a little bit more transactional. And you even if she does have a good upbringing, she's college educated and stuff like this, whatever, she's going to expect you to do a little bit more than what that Japanese chick is going to expect from you, if that makes any sense. And then you have Chinese women also as well. So where Chinese women is like, yo, hey, what you need? So
is there
I'll chip in too.
Is there like a 50-50 in Asia, or the man pays everything?
So I seen it multiple ways. I seen it, like me personally, like I'm not a cheapskate. I'm not a cheap dude. But when you're getting to know somebody, and it's the small things that matter. So if you get to know somebody, like maybe like first date or second date, and she says, hey, you know what, hey, I got it. Even though you can pay for it, that means something. That's like, yo, wow. You know what I mean? It's like, all right, cool. Whether it's a cup of coffee or going to the movies. You know what I mean? Like that little small thing is like, all right, I'll give you the fucking world if you deserve it. If we continue to grow and stuff like that, I'll give you the world because you just showed me that, hey, this isn't 100% transactional. But then again, you have some girls that's running game and they're like, yo, hey, I'm gonna play the long game and I'm gonna bait them in. You see what I'm saying? So it's one of those things you really have to vet these chicks out, no matter what country you're in. You see what I'm saying? But we're looking at the actual overall perspective of it. And it's like, I think things are a little bit more transactional here in Thailand.
So you mentioned that some Japanese, like in casual conversation, will say the N word,
Right.
to you, like,
But that's not. It's casually, but it's like mainly like in the clubs, in the bars. There's alcohol involved. You see what I'm saying? It's not like you're walking down the street or you're on a train and a girl walks over and be like, oh shit, look at this nigga. Nah, it's not like that. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
It's something that they said before, and they're learning from other Black Americans. They're hearing it. So now these girls are like, hey, if you can say it, I can say it. But what happens is a lot of these guys don't check these women and be like, yo, it's not okay for you to say that. There are ramifications. Like that's not acceptable. And I'm not going to tolerate that.
But do you think that's kind of like being hypocritical when we say it so much in our everyday language and it's all throughout our music? Like, and then we call each other that, you know. I try my best not to say it, you know, just personally.
Correct.
But even I catch myself saying it on a basketball court or something, and we know the way we mean it is like, you know, hey nigga, you know, like that type of stuff. But like, I think that's always been kind of complicated because it's just like, hey, I like me personally, I would say, hey, I don't say that word, so you don't say that word.
Right.
But if we saying that word every day to each other,
so it's a touchy subject, right? I use it on a daily basis. You know what I mean? Like I drop 1 million N-bombs a day. You know what I mean? I think it's one of those things to where if you look like me, I'm okay with you saying it. You know what I mean? And I'm talking about other than just Black people. I'm talking about some of my boys, they're Puerto Rican. They be dropping it. You see what I'm saying? And they don't look like us, but then guess what? Hey, you look into the DNA, you look into the history, hey, we come from the same place. Right. You know what I mean? So
I always feel so funny style because I got a lot of Puerto Rican homeboys that say it.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Even when I'm in Colombia and I go to, and it's just like, it's just strange to me. Like, I don't know how to put my finger on it. Like, it doesn't make me feel, I know they're not coming from the place of a racist Klansman when they say it. Right. You know, because we, in a lot of cases, some of them have, you know, blood, you know, our blood in them. And in some cases, they was right next to us on the, you know, banana plantations in Puerto Rico too. A lot of them might have Black grandmothers and Black grandfathers and stuff like that. But it's still like, so I just try not to say it, you know, me personally. Right.
Well, yeah.
But leading to that, like, have you faced any type of discrimination or racism anywhere in Asia personally?
No. I only experienced racial profiling one time, and that was back in like Virginia Beach. And I would say like that was 2007, 2008.
So back in the States?
Yeah, back in the States.
Okay.
Back in the States. But I'm saying that was the only time I experienced anything racial. Outside of that, I've been living in Asia, I've been traveling everywhere, and I haven't experienced it.
Okay.
It haven't fell on my ears.
And you prefer living in Asia more than any other place in the world?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Like, why not Brazil or South Africa? Is it just like a personal preference, or so you've been to Brazil, right?
So I never wanted to go to Africa, like far as living, you know what I mean? Like I do want to travel there, you see what I'm saying? It's on the bucket list, but I never wanted to live there. Now maybe things will change once I go visit it, you see what I'm saying? But right now, I was like, I just want to go experience it, but I wouldn't consider living there. But things could change. Brazil, I love Brazil. I just don't feel safe in Brazil. Like I feel safe in certain places, certain pockets, but once you veer off that main path, it's like, yo, you got to be careful. Like every step, you got to look over your shoulder, turn around, or that third step, you're like, yo, is there somebody walking behind me? I thought I heard something. So now that paranoia kicks in, and it's like, yo, you might not have no money on you, but just the thought of, hey, you could be robbed or beat up for your cell phone. You see what I'm saying? And it's like, yo, hey, when somebody robs you, 9 times out of 10, it's not gonna be one dude. It's gonna be 2 or more. You know what I mean? So it's now you have that, now you at a disadvantage, and now you like, yo, hey, so I'll tell people, hey, keep them hands sharp. Make sure you know how to fight. Hands down.
Okay.
But yeah, I didn't feel safe in Brazil. Mind you, I've been to Brazil a few times. I've been to Colombia, did not feel safe. And I had a conversation with my boy the other day, right? About why I didn't feel safe in Colombia. And it's like, why do I have to worry about going on vacation and I put my drink down and I turn around to check the time on my phone? I got to worry about somebody putting something in my drink. That doesn't make me feel good.
But the women beautiful though.
And that's what they say.
Yeah.
They say, oh, it's always this is the one I'd always get. It's the cornballs, it's the dudes that struggle dating with women and stuff like this, whatever. Those are the ones that get scoped, those are the ones that get, almost unalived out there. But I'm like, nah, that could be anybody. You see what I'm saying? So, yeah.
So I want to go back to the business. And I know guys have different ideas of what type of businesses that they want to start,
right?
Especially when it comes to overseas. And you mentioned that you've been in several businesses and you ended up in the bar business,
right?
But do you have any tips on doing business, here in Thailand before you even enter Thailand? Is it like some type of mentorship or consultation or any type of visa process that you can give them to them?
I would say this: do your research.
Right.
Because we're not talking about doing business in America. We're talking about doing business internationally, right? So you have to study, you have to educate yourself on what is right, what are the rules, what are the laws. And then you actually find somebody, because 9 out of 10, the industry that you're going into, there's somebody already producing content on YouTube. Study that, learn from it. And now you say, all right, cool. Or it's, I wasn't expecting that challenge. Let me look at a different business, because that right there might be a little bit too challenging for me based off my finances, based off my connections in that country. Yeah.
Okay. And I know it's like, it's hard to gauge because there's so many different businesses and everything like that. But like, what type of budget would you need to open up a bar here in Pattaya? Would it be like, you need to have at least 50K, 100,000, minimum budget?
I'm gonna be honest with you, because you're my boy, so we're putting things in the proper perspective, right? So this bar right here was 500,000 with 100,000 to my bot. Right. With 100,000 bot deposit, which is refundable at the end of the 3-year term. So now, at the end of the 3-year term, I can extend for another 3 years, or I can just, sell the business or whatever, right? But the reason why the bar was so cheap is because of I saw the value and the opportunity. I got this before construction was done. You see what I'm saying? So before, this used to be a vacant, it was a club called Billabong. Then they knocked it down. It was a vacant lot. It's been sitting here for months. And then they came in and they built the beer complex. So once they actually put it out there, like, hey, we're looking for bar owners to come inside, I saw the opportunity, and I have business partners here at the bar, right? So I was like, I pitched it to them and I was like, hey, listen, let's go ahead and buy it, flip it, take that money and go ahead and do whatever we want to do with it, but continue to show people that, hey, brothers can come together, put their money together and keep owning or keep making money generate for them, right? For the group. Everybody else is doing it. We're not doing that. You see what I'm saying? So that was the whole premise of this. So now my boys, they was like, nah, if I'm getting in this, I want to operate it, because that's where the money is. And we can show people like, yo, hey, this is what we're going to do. I'm like, I'm against that, but I seen the opportunity in that also as well. And I was like, all right, cool. The only way that we can do this is if we get a mama sign. That way, that responsibility of making sure that the girls are secured, making sure that the girls are good, they're taken care of, we need a mama sign. So we have to get a good mama sign. So we know, getting the mama sign, one of my good friends, known her for years. And everything just came together from there.
Okay. And I want to go back to this. You had a crocodile farm, bro?
Yeah.
Well, how's that work?
In Isan.
Okay.
So I told this on YouTube before. So pretty much the whole idea with that was, back when I was in Japan, I started a clothing brand, me and my business partner. So I had one of my mentors in the fashion industry. He was pretty much coaching me along the way. He was like, hey, this is what you do, this is what you don't do. So the brand started picking up steam. Next thing you know, my business partner, he gets kicked out of the military. And this is a crazy story in itself, right? He gets kicked out of the military. So now he goes off the map. He's not responding to my texts, my emails. And I'm like, yo, what do I do at this point? It's like, yo, I got to run the business by myself. So that's what I did. I continued to run the business on my own. And then I just hit that point to where it's like, this is a little bit too much for me. Also juggling my daily duties of being a Marine. You see what I'm saying? So now I was like, I need to make a decision. So what I did was I shut the brand down to the public, but I made it my personal brand. So I took all that experience and I was like, I want to create something better, bigger and better than a street brand or urban brand, whatever some people want to call it. And I just said, hey, I want to go into the luxury industry. So I went ahead, started brainstorming, strategizing. I was like, yo, hey, there's nothing better than the crocodile skin. Some people might say, hey, ostrich. Some people might say caiman. That saltwater crocodile, top tier. So I was like, all right, let me get into the croc business. So came out here, started looking around and stuff like this, whatever. Was like, hey, sure as shit, you can have a crocodile farm here. Went ahead, got the land, rented it, got the land, built the farm, built everything. And I'll send you videos so you can post and everything like this, whatever. The crocodile farm was sitting on 2 acres of land. Everything was 100% solar powered, had security 24/7 staff there, living, sleeping there. So that's how the whole idea came about for the crocodile farm. So we was gonna raise the crocs and then use them for bags, belts, shoes, and furniture later on down in the line.
Nice.
That was the whole premise of.
Is it kind of dangerous? I mean, I don't know how often you're out there, but the crocodiles,
You got staff, groundskeepers for that.
Okay. So you're not out there
right.
handling the crocs or nothing like that.
No.
Do you eat croc meat too?
Yeah.
It's very good, right?
It's good. It's good.
Yeah. It's like one of the best meats I've ever tasted. It tastes like chicken steak to me.
That's what everybody says. They're like, oh, it tastes like chicken. I'm like, to me, it's a little bit more tougher, but it's good.
That's what I mean, like chicken steak.
It's good. It's and make sure you season it a little bit more than you would chicken. But yeah, you're good.
All right, so there was an article, and I forgot the name of the publication that it came out, and it basically stated that Pattaya was one of the biggest red light districts in the world. Like it counted the amount of sex workers. It was like, of course, in the thousands of thousands, right? And of course, we know it's different cities around the world, and America has it too. It just called it by a different name, strip clubs and stuff like that, right? But a lot of people don't know that it's kind of like two sides of this city, right? Because you got that's going on. Meanwhile, you also got like a big MMA culture, a big fitness culture. Like, what is the other side of the city that people don't usually talk about when they mention Pattaya?
The easiest way I explain it.
You paused too long.
Huh?
No, so you paused so long.
Right.
I'm gonna cut that part out.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the number one thing I tell people, right, is yes, this place has a stigma attached to it of the red lights, the girls, the bars, all this other stuff, the debauchery. But then you look at it is you have a lot of families here also as well, and these are not just Thai families. You have Russian families that fled and they came here. So it's like, what's so special about this place to make you want to leave Russia or Ukraine to come start your new life here instead of going to Phuket, Bangkok? So that lets you know that, hey, there's something special here. That's for that. Then you look at a lot of these single families that are coming from America, or these single moms with the kids, or these families that come in together with the kids and everything. They're not going to Bangkok. They're coming here. So it lets you know that there's something special here. So I tell people like this, if you want to be in the mix, if you want to be amongst the chaos, you can do that. But if you don't, there's a lot of pockets, there's a lot of places where you can actually have a normal day today without actually seeing bar girls, seeing the bars, hearing loud music, and you can enjoy this place for what it really is.
And you know what? It's funny to me, man, because we both live here, and we know a lot of stuff goes on, but we have very simple, healthy lives at the end of the day. And like you mentioned before, Pattaya is one of the safest cities in the world. Yeah. Right. And it's a special city, really just Bangkok, Pattaya, Phuket, because you got all these ethnic groups, right? And the Thai government kind of has everything in line, right? Of course, you got different sectors and sections where you got, ethnic groups at, but for the most part, everybody just smiles and gets along with each other and, leave each other alone, basically. And that's the part I like about it. I feel much safer here than I did back in LA. Yeah. At the end of the day.
I feel safe here.
And that's big. Like, a lot of people don't understand how big that is. Like I've never ever lived in a safe environment in my life until I got to Pattaya, bro. Atlanta is not that safe. Like, there's gas stations I won't even go to in Atlanta, right? I'm sure New York isn't the safest either. Right. So it's like a breath of fresh air, like a relief, especially as a guy coming from the inner. I don't know if you came from the inner city like me, but it's like I can kind of just breathe now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll tell you like this. I just got back from Da Nang or Da Nang.
Yeah,
sorry.
right.
I was like, it's a good contender to Pattaya. But I still like this place better than that place, you know, for my own reasons. But I went there and I was like, wow. Mind you, this is my second time in Vietnam. First time I was in Ho Chi Minh City. This time I went to Da Nang, and I just wanted to just chill, decompress, not worry about the bar, not worry about this, not worry about that, to just kind of just chill. And I went out there and I was like, this is dope. I'm talking about I stayed at a 5-star hotel or 5-star resort for $100 a night. You can't beat that with Vaseline. You know what I mean? So I was like, yo, I really enjoy this place, but I was only there for 4 days. I wasn't there long enough, so I'm definitely gonna go back. Definitely.
Okay. And this is the last question, man. If you had any suggestions to younger guys or even younger ladies that say, I like this guy's lifestyle, I want to participate in it, you know, I want to, you know, enjoy the fruits of my labor overseas as well, what would you suggest to them? Let's say they in their early 20s, they fresh out of college or thinking about, you know, wanting to leave the States.
I would say make sure you have anywhere between 6 to 10,000 saved up in the bank. Make sure you have at least 1,500 to 3,000 in passive that's coming in, or you're doing it a remote job, making that particular money, and then make that trip, make that journey. As far as living here, but if you just want to come here, be a weekend warrior, chill. I would say be a weekend warrior first. Come experience it, come check it out, because this place is not for everybody. It's not. So come check it out first, and then you say, all right, whatever, cool. Start putting a plan together. Make sure you have a plan before you just jump on a plane and come here and sign a lease agreement for a condo. Have a plan.
All right, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah.